Good afternoon. Oh, we got to be a little louder than that. Come on. Good afternoon. Welcome to Third Presbyterian Church. We are a church here in the city for whom justice is central to what we do, what we say, what we preach, how we live our lives. And so it's really important to us to be able to help foment the energy around justice. And this is our second year of having the Concert for Justice, and we're excited about that. Although I was talking with James, last year the first concert was in April, and it was so hot, right? So hot, and we were worried about that this year. Being in June was going to be worse. Well, no, this is Rochester, so we all have our sweaters on. But we're so excited to be able to offer this opportunity for three amazing groups here that are doing great work toward justice, for them to speak as well as others to perform to kind of enhance that. So you'll have someone come up and speak for a moment on a justice issue that they're addressing, and then after that we'll have some performers do some amazing music. And I have to be honest, part of this is about raising funds. It takes a lot of money to do justice correctly. So there are several ways that you can give if you so choose. There are baskets at all the doors. You can't miss them, so they're right there the whole time. You can do so online. There's a spot in the bulletin that lists how to do it, and there's also a QR code. And if you wanted to, you could mail something into the church at some point and just list the Concert for Justice as what the money is to go forward. So we are just so excited to continue to have this conversation and continue to bring people up here to talk about what it means to be someone who's advocating for justice, both here in Rochester and around the world. It's so beautiful. We do want to offer, thanks this evening to Andy Nahas and Music Power Org. They have graciously supported us financially as well as just being here. So we just thank Andy very much for doing that. And also James Kealey, who really is our music director, and James has done a fabulous job at organizing this. I get some of the credit for it, but I didn't actually do anything. I just got up here and he did all the hard work. So we're incredibly grateful, and grateful to be able to bring you into the conversation. And if you have questions, please seek us out or seek the speakers out. If you want to know more about how to get involved or more what you're doing and how you can enhance what these folks are doing. So we're really excited to be here. And I want to invite our first guest up tonight, Nick Coulter. He's part of, I know it as PCHO, Person-Centered Housing Options here in the city. And they do some great work. And we've got folks that come here for meals and food. And they just continue to be so excited about PCHO and what PCHO does. So, Nick, why don't you come on up? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let me put this down here so I'm not tempted to drink it. Okay, so when I was thinking about justice and reflecting on how justice impacts all of us, there's a few words that come to mind. And then I'll get into my speech and we'll talk about what we do and all that. But I was thinking about access. Justice is sometimes having access to meeting the needs of our most vulnerable people. Sometimes justice for some of us is about equity and being able to reach a level of quality in our lives. Sometimes justice is about having our human rights met. And so I wanted to take a few minutes. My name's Nick Coulter. I'm one of the co-founders of Person-Centered Housing Options. I'm the chief of development. And, 10 years ago, I wouldn't even be standing here with you if it weren't for access and justice and equity and human rights. I'm blessed to be in your presence and to have this wonderful opportunity to speak to you all. And if you know me, you know that the opportunity to speak for at least 5 to 7 minutes is going to be a long one, because I could just go on and on about homelessness and the work we do and the people we serve, because I love them so much. One of the most challenging experiences people will often tell me in our work is that feeling they get when they encounter a friend on the street. You might be in your car, you might come across somebody that is asking for support or services. You might see somebody on the corner, or you see a family in a car. That feeling that we all get, that feeling of hopelessness, and like there's nowhere to turn. And instead, there's this deepness, this shock that comes over us. We don't know what to do. We don't know how to react to this. We're privileged enough to be able to go home to an apartment or to a home, to spend time with our kids or be around our animals, to be in the warmth, especially on cold days like this, to be in the warmth of our homes. And we're in utter shock of what to do with somebody who needs our help. I think deep down often around homelessness and how it shakes us to our core. We couldn't imagine being in this situation or watching our fellow humans go through all of this. And we see all of this on television every day. We turn on the news, we see people dying, children dying. And it shocks us, and it shocks us, and it hits us. I'm here today, and Wilson Commencement's here today, and other friends of ours are here today to tell you and share with you that that shock has an outlet, that there is a way for us to be able to give back. And here's why. Here's why giving back matters so much. Next slide, please. So I'm not in control of the slides, so I apologize in advance if I walk through them and I forget to change them. In 2015, we started PCHO, and I started it with Chuck Albanese there. And the idea was that we would target the most vulnerable folks, the folks you see every day on the streets. And at that time, there was no outreach. There was no folks going out and finding people. Next slide. I'm going to go quickly. So what we did was we quit our jobs. We left the county and our healthcare system, respectively, and we hit the ground running. We provide outreach, housing, and care management services to wrap it around. That's really simple. I'm not going to go deep into that, but I just want you to know what we do. Next slide, please. Today, in 2025, we have several entities that go out and do outreach. We have places like Third Presbyterian that bring people in, that, like you said, our staff are encountering every day. We have great groups out on Lyle Ave. We have wonderful groups over on Clinton. We have all different kinds of groups working together, and PCHO is just really one of those puzzles. But what I want to draw your attention to is that really that equity, that access, that there's really only a few different ways for homeless folks to get into housing. And one of those right there in the middle is street outreach. Street outreach is a vital part of our system. Yes, people can go into shelters. Yes, people can get treatment facilities and enter rehabs. But having a strong street outreach component to our overall system is an essential part of how we are successful as a community. Without it, we would miss roughly 400 to 500 households annually that could access housing. Next slide, please. So every year in Rochester, PCHO serves around 431 households. Persons, sorry. So 94 of those folks last year were children. 94 children in their parents' cars. 94 children sleeping from place to place with aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers. 94 children living in places not meant for habitation. When I started my career, there were no children on the streets. We had enough beds for children in shelters. We had access to those beds. We didn't have children living in hotels over and over and over and over again. This has grown immensely. And I'm here to tell you that I just see it growing and growing. These poor little babies here are a couple months away from being in a car because of our economic system, because we don't take care of our families the way we should. So we are just one piece of that. But I'm here to sound the board, to create a soundboard for you all, to say that we need to prioritize housing our children, especially children on the streets, and especially our most vulnerable. I can tell you that 83% of the folks that we serve are housed. So that 431, 83% of them will go into an apartment this year. And while they might experience domestic violence or behavioral health issues, we're housing them anyway. Because guess what? Housing is a human right. Next slide, please. So what we're seeing is this avalanche, that rents are higher. It's devastating to our families. Lots of families in the suburbs can't meet the rents that have skyrocketed out there, as well as the city. And we're seeing larger and larger households in cars or in abandoned buildings, etc. Next slide. So what can we do? Like Ted said, donate. Donating to worthy causes that show you their statistics, that share their outcomes, and do the good work that keeps people off the streets is all you have to do. You can get involved with your church, have us come out and do hygiene kits, get involved with these kinds of events, and donate. There's all different kinds of ways you can get involved. But great organizations like Wilson Commencement and PCHO and all these great organizations that are involved with this church are the backbone of keeping our children in housing. So as we take a moment to listen to the great music today, I just want to reflect on our privilege, the importance of justice, and access to housing as a human right. Thank you all. I appreciate your time.
What kind of instrument this is? Yeah. guys on the screen, their gala is coming up on June 26th at Artisan Works. Should be a fun time. How much does it cost to go to that? I mean, 125. Okay, anybody who's trouble affording that, see me, I'll subsidize. You should go to that, June 26th at Artisan Works. Okay, I also want to thank your Presbyterian for having us today. Thanks, you guys. I was reading about 50% of people who are homeless actually went through the foster care system. And this is an issue, when people age out at 18, that's it. They don't have backup sometimes in their lives. And, we all need somebody to stand by us at certain times in our life. And if you don't have that, that's really difficult. So anyway, this song came to mind for today along those lines. I really like it. song I'm going to do, it's not very well known, but I think it has a good message, and I wanted to sing this one. I just learned it, so be forgiving. We're in church, so you're supposed to forgive me. All right, I'm going to try this right now. I hope you like this one. Jesus Christ was a honest man. He had nothing to hide. He said, all God's children are brothers. Don't cast your brother aside. Jesus Christ was a dangerous man. That's the way that he died. He said, be good to the people you love, and love everybody you like. Be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love, and love everybody you like. Dr. King was a preacher man. He had nothing to hide. He said, give bread to the hungry, bring the homeless inside. Dr. King was a dangerous man. That's the way that he died. He said, be good to the people you love, and love everybody you like. Be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love, and love everybody you like. There's nothing more true than kindness. There ain't nothing more valuable than kindness. We'll make everyone wonder who remind us that everyone's got rights to be free. Oh, be good to the people. Be good to the people. Be good to the people you love, and love everybody you like. And love everybody you like. And love everybody you like. All right, thanks everybody. Okay, how's the sound coming through that? Okay, you know, let's start. All right, check it. So, I really think that if we are lucky enough to have a permanent roof over our heads and a decent family life, then we need to help those people who are not so lucky. Whether they're, someone lying on the sidewalk of First Federal Plaza, or whether they're, sitting in the rubble in northern Gaza. We have 2 million people homeless right now, actually. I'm going to do this next song that kind of inspires me. I hope you like it. I'm going to put down the instrument for a second. Hope you like this one. There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I need
Thank you so much. My name is James Kealey, and I currently serve as the Director of Music and Organist here at Third Church, and it's a real privilege to be with you all as we strive for justice in three very important areas. Before I introduce the next speaker, I just want to talk a little bit about the three pieces that I'll play on the organ behind me. They're pieces that are allow some space for emotions to run. The first piece is called The Peace May Be Exchanged, which is, I think, our sincere hope for the world and the state that it's in. And it takes its text from the Book of Common Prayer, which the Episcopal Church use. And this piece, Rubrics, was written by an American composer, Daniel Locklear, in North Carolina. And The Peace May Be Exchanged is at a part in the service where everyone greets each other and shakes each other's hand. And I think it's only fitting to play a piece like that today. The second piece is called Reverie, which translates to Daydream, written by the African-American composer William Grant Still from Little Rock, Arkansas. And this piece is very meditative, it's very contemplative, and I think it encompasses all the emotions we might be feeling about the situation on the other side of the world. And the last piece is Amazing Grace, a setting by George Shearing. It's a kind of British jazz composer meets the organ. And this sets the very famous hymn, Amazing Grace, in musical form, using the full sonic power of the organ. I think as we thank God for our abundant graces that we've received, and perhaps hope that they're received elsewhere in the world. But first, please give a warm welcome to Joe and Mickey.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to share this space with local justice concerns while I speak a little bit about a global one. This global concern is very dear to my heart. The first time I was in a Palestinian refugee camp was in 1973 in Lebanon. and then in the 1980s returned to Gaza and the West Bank and Israel-Palestine as we know it. So I want to make the link. Our resources nationally, our tax dollars, are not going toward local concerns for justice or global concerns for justice in a way that many of us feel comfortable. So let me just begin with that statement and say how grateful I am to everybody who's sharing this space this afternoon. I'm speaking specifically for the Rochester Hebron Friendship Project and the I-Peace Committee of this church, and for justice to come into fruition in the land where the roots of my faith and two other major faiths in the world were born. The Rochester Hebron Friendship Project was founded in 2021, and it was inspired by the vision of one of our former members, sadly, who passed away a few years ago, John Thomas. It started to build a meaningful partnership with the people of Hebron, Al-Khalil, and the surrounding areas. Hebron is a historic city located in the West Bank of the occupied territories. Our mission is to educate the Rochester community about Hebron's rich history, vibrant culture, and the realities of daily life for people who have been under occupation for more than half a century. Rochester and Hebron share many commonalities. Both cities are similar in their population, and both cities share a deep love of soccer. Rochester was the home to one of the world's greatest female soccer players, and Hebron was the site of the West Bank's first women's soccer teams. Both communities also share a great love of the arts. Rochester has its flourishing artisan scene, and Hebron has a flourishing scene of traditional pottery, hand-blown glass, and intricate ceramics. Both cities are surrounded by orchards, and Hebron is especially known for its figs and grapes, and we are known for our apples. Yet, the daily life of Palestinians in Hebron is starkly in contrast with ours. The city's entrances are closed by military checkpoints and gates, a reality faced by most towns in the occupied territories. And as Hebron's mayor puts it, quote, "The Israeli army has turned the city into something akin to a large prison and imposed a policy of collective punishment." And I must say that I've seen and experienced this with my own eyes. Residents live under constant threat of militant Israeli soldiers seeking to displace the Palestinian families from the old city and seizing their land and their homes. The southern Hebron Hills, an area encompassing around 30 villages, is among the most affected. Here, nearly all construction, and I believe as of today, all construction is banned, and home demolitions are frequent. Essential infrastructure, homes, roads, water tanks, and cisterns are routinely destroyed by Israeli forces. Settlers often vandalize water systems, break car windows, and prevent the Palestinian shepherding community from allowing their livestock to graze. They enter homes and use violence to intimidate families. The Academy Award-winning documentary, now banned in our country, No Other Land, offers a first-hand look into the life of Masafer Yatta, a village in the South Hebron Hills. It's a powerful testament to the courage and the resilience of residents faced with the total destruction of their communities. So how has Rochester Hebron answered the call to make a difference? In collaboration with Playgrounds for Palestine and the Madison, Wisconsin Rafa Sister City Project, we and they helped fund the installation, of the Al Samud Playground. This playground is located at a kindergarten on Shuhada Street in Hebron. This rare outdoor play space now serves approximately 32 children ages 3 to 5. We helped provide travel support also to Cassandra Dixon, the founder of an organization called Palestine Partners, in the fall of 2024. She traveled to Hebron firsthand. Palestine Partners empowers women and youth in the West Bank through fair trade and human rights advocacy. The organization works closely with Women in Hebron, a fair trade craft cooperative that employs women who produce beautiful hand-embroidered items. And Youth of Sumud, a grassroots group dedicated to protecting Palestinian communities from the violence that is increasing from the settlers. Another key partner is the Hebron International Resource Network, HERN, a coalition of local Palestinians and their international allies focused on helping communities living near the settlements. HERN states this, and I quote, "By supporting their right to water, safe housing, movement, and education, Palestinians are more likely to be able to stay on their land and in their homes. Their existence is resistance." Together with HERN and IPEACE, on several occasions, we have funded food parcels for the communities facing food insecurity. At times, these meals are provided during Ramadan, and they are consumed to break the daily fast. The latest donation supplied the community of al-Khair with enough food to allow them to sustain themselves for 2 weeks. So looking ahead in this really difficult situation, our immediate goal is to continue supporting the people of Greater Hebron in any way that we can. But our long-term hope is much more profound, that one day our partnership will no longer be one of urgent aid, but simply one of shared friendship and peace with this sister city. Thank you, everyone, for your local and global justice support.
everybody doing okay? I hope so. Just want to let you know that as we move into our final speaker and musicians, afterwards we do have a reception up here in Johnston Hall, and there is food. There's some snacks up there, so if you're hungry, just come on up and meet everybody and be a part of that. Earlier, Nick had a slide up that said why giving matters. Don't want to overemphasize that, but it matters. Even so, the third church that is hosting this event and pulled it together has already set aside some money on top of what you all give to enhance what goes back out to these organizations. And I don't know how many people have had experience with the organizations that are presenting tonight about justice, but I have. We had a guy that used to live on the back porch here, and Nick and his people, Chuck, everybody over there, and person-centered housing, got him a place to live. So it's real. What Nick and Chuck and everybody over there does is real. iPeace is part of Third Church, right? And John Thomas, that you mentioned, love John. I traveled with a guy to important places, and they do great work in what they're doing. And now I'm going to Wilson Commencement Park. I've been to Wilson Commencement Park. They do great work over there. Carlos, right here in the glasses, he's part of that. They do great work there. So the money that goes to them is something that's actually helping people in a powerful and real way. So I'm going to invite the executive director of Wilson Commencement Park up. And Mighty is in her last name. It's more than a last name for this woman. So Cavell, come on up. And Cavell has just been a superstar over there. And the work she does is just so mighty. So we're so honored to have her up here.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We're excited to be here. We're always excited to come to Third Press and be with Pastor Ted. It's so great again to be here. Thank you so much, PCHO, for what you do, and thank you so much, iPeace, for expanding your work globally. I want to just introduce you to two of our team members. We have Kirsten Adams. She's one of our case managers. Carlos Merriweather. I think everybody knows Carlos, but if you don't, Carlos Merriweather. We also have the most beautiful and handsome young people here today, and they're going to do a little bit of drumming for you later on, so let's just give them a hand. I want to just quote Muhammad Ali, just something that has resonated with me and that I think we should all live by. He said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." That is something that I think we should all live by. Wilson Commencement Park is all about stability, dignity, and hope. For over 20 years, it has provided transitional housing and case management services to single parents and their children, helping them move from crisis to stability. Wilson is not a shelter. It is a 2-year transitional program. We have 50 townhomes and 18 apartment units all on one campus. Families that come to Wilson, they come to heal, rebuild, and plan for a better tomorrow. Some of the families that come to Wilson, they face different challenges: homelessness, domestic violence, substance use disorder, and the heavy responsibility of raising children alone. And so Wilson stepped in with a more cocoon-like approach and meet some of these needs head on. And Kirsten can go ahead and share a little bit about how we meet these needs.
Thank you. So Wilson Commencement Park provides apartments for families, giving them stability that they need to focus on their personal growth. Every family is paired with a case manager who helps set goals, access resources, and build skills needed for long-term independence. Whether that's education, job training, financial literacy, or parenting support. And the results speak for themselves. Families who come through Wilson Commencement Park have more than just a roof over their heads. They have tools to break the cycle of poverty. This program truly changes lives, not just temporarily, but for long term. Wilson Commencement Park, it's not just a place, it is a new beginning.
Thank you, Kirsten. And now, one of Rochester's favorite person, he's going to share a little bit about what he do with the children's program at Wilson Commencement Park.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take just 2 minutes to highlight a powerful part of our Wilson Commencement Park mission, the children's program. At Wilson Commencement Park, we know that supporting the single-parent family means supporting their children too. That's why the children's program is a key part of our services. It's not a child care, it's early intervention, academic support, and emotional development, all rolled into one safe and nourishing environment. The program focuses on school-based help and social emotional growth, after school and summer program that keeps kids engaged, learning, and connected, and individualized support to help children overcome trauma, build confidence, and stay on track academically. Our goal is simple. It's to give every child a chance to dream bigger, learn with joy, and grow up knowing they are safe, seen, and supported. At Wilson Commencement Park, we don't just house families, we invest in their future, and that future starts with our children. Thank you.
We'd just like to take this opportunity as well to really, truly thank Third Presbyterian for being this great support for us. Thank you so much. Thank you for walking your talk. Thanks.
Some shuffling is required. Everybody okay? Now I'm going to be millennial for a second. You'll forgive me for pretending I don't see it right here. I made myself some notes because although I'm a performer, I'm not a natural public speaker. I'm a natural joke teller. And today is not the day for a lighthearted humor. When we finish, folks, I want to introduce you to my mother because I can really back up. The intersections for me with all of our speakers today are many. I've had the good fortune to let my voice support Nick and the PCHO a couple of times. It's a fantastic organization, one of many worthy of your support. And also, I want to introduce you all to my mother, who, Ruth Fleischman, who is the executive director of the Wilson Foundation at the time that Wilson first song is about what happens when you lose everything and you need help when you need it most. Falls hard, it falls home. These are both guitars, by the way. One last song to share with you. I think if you watch the news, you can realize how our society has been changing in the last few months and years. We've become cruel. We've found taking care of the most vulnerable in our society to be sport or something that we need to be advocating for. It's really easy to be dismissive of people that are different. And this is a song for me. It's called "Queen of the Pines," which was a plea that I wrote during the last election. Not to get political, but I found it very difficult. And it's a song that draws on family imagery from my own family stories about the rise of Nazism and the persecution of my family members who are artists and poets and sound makers and gay and people who were different. And stories from my wife's family about the rise of fascism in Argentina. How the most vulnerable were usually the first people that were victims of the cruelty of society. So I'll offer up this prayer to everybody today that we'll do better. Finally dead, chains burned out, and now the chains of heart. It's like the airport from where I stand. Small among cedars, pity on me, queen of pines, scattered the road.
Thank you. Again, my name is Freddie Colon, and it's such an honor and the privilege to work with these amazing kids from Wilson Commencement Park. Let's hear it for them. Most of the kids, I've been working now for about a year and a half, and for one of them, this is her first time drumming. Actually, we haven't been drumming for that long, but I find that this is a way that kids learn how to communicate, not only through verbally talking things, right, but also through the drums. So that's what we use. We plant that seed at a very young age. But the drums that you see here that they're playing is a tubano drum, and what I'm playing is a Peruvian instrument called the cajon, and it looks like a box because cajon is actually a box. So I'd like to thank Wilson Commencement Park for giving me this opportunity, though. It's just such a wonderful organization that I get to volunteer and work with. So the first pattern that we played, that's very short, that's called the bomba pattern, okay? And the kids get to create the intro for that, the breaks, and they work very hard at doing this. So I'm gonna go ahead and introduce them. On the first tuban over there, we have Rico. Say it for Rico. On the second tubano, this is her first year doing this, we have La Rose. And she always keeps me on my toes. On the third tubano, we have Armani. And the great thing, Armani will ask you every question, and why does this do this, and why does this do that? And that's the type of student you want. So thank you, Armani, for keeping Mr. C on his toes every time. And then on the fourth Tubano, we have Aquil. So I want to really thank you guys, and also just again WCP for giving me this opportunity to work with the kids. The next one that we're going to do is one that they like because they get to learn. We learn the sounds, right, and the movement, which there's an open tone and a bass. So the kids really love doing this, and this is actually the introduction to a very basic plena rhythm.
Thank you so much to all of our performers, all of our speakers, everyone who's contributed to make this such a wonderful event, and all of you, thank you for coming, thank you for your generosity, and thank you for being a part of this wonderful concert as we together seek justice for three amazing causes. As Ted said earlier, there is a reception in Johnson Hall, which you can access through either doors in the sanctuary. That way is step-free, that way is not. Where there are drinks and beverages and food for all who are able to join us. So thank you for coming once again, and have a wonderful day.